collaborative best practices, and a hands-on approach to learning. In addition to traditional school settings, the district provides a wide range of exciting educational opportunities through our choice programs, specifically designed for unique student needs. No matter your age, your background, or your personal goals, there's a place for you in the Iredell Statesville schools.
Selecting diamonds directly from the world's most renowned master diamond cutters. Accessing tens of thousands of diamonds to find the very best. Going straight to the source to obtain an unequaled price advantage. Just a few reasons why buying diamonds directly from the diamond capital of the world can make the difference for you.
Hey, we're Kim and Matt from R. Gregory Jewelers, and we would like to invite you in to see why the Antwerp difference is the R. Gregory difference.
Visit R. Gregory Jewelers in Statesville.
Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm.
If you don't know our host, David Hamm, he's a 25-year NASCAR veteran, engine builder, and jackman.
Live every Monday evening, we have a new guest
From the racing world with their stories, their paths,
their
racing roots.
Sponsored by Jersey Cape Yachts.
Now here's our host, David Hamm.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Racing Roots with Hamm. We're here on 550 AM, 92.9 FM, and DHammiam on YouTube. We're also streaming live on the Racing Roots on Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Yes, all those places we're live. So if you missed the show tonight, it's your own fault because there's too many places that you can find it. You can also find it online at TuneIn app is another area. So there's absolutely no excuse. But I've got Janette Thornley in with me this evening. And Racin, you're supposed to be clapping. Racin's over here working diligently.
Yeah.
Doing a great job, though. He's out mowing today, so yeah. How'd that go?
That's right. Went pretty good. This is the first mow of the year, so that's always fun. I enjoy doing that, so, that was good.
So you were mowing, and Janette was coming back from the beach. So let's see. Which one would I rather be doing? I was mowing, too. Hey, what's up? So did you have a good time at the beach?
Oh, yeah. Beach is always good.
Even with Buddy?
Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, we got Buddy Foss in here with us, too. But, yes, so what did y'all do at the beach?
Well, actually, I took a property management class while I was down there. We own a couple of rental properties down there, and felt like it never hurts to be educated. So,
all right. Good for you. Property management's where it's at.
I don't know about that.
Well, maybe not property management. Hey, property rentals, that's kind of goes in there, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Do you rent out, let's see.
Short term, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about some business ideas I have because we have a local rental, RV rental here in Statesville.
Okay.
That was a sponsor of my show last year, and they'll probably come back again, but it's Great RV Life here in Statesville.
Awesome.
Yes. And speaking of sponsors, too, I want to thank Swimming Pool and Spa. Neil Johnson had to take his youngin'. He was going to come in here and hang out with us, but he had to take his youngins to the baseball. Whenever one kid has a game somewhere and then another kid has a game somewhere else, it's hard to be split the parent. You have to split the parentship, right? So there you go. See, I told you we were going to have fun once the show started.
Oh, yeah.
I come in here and I'm bouncing around like a rabbit jumping around everywhere. And then we start the show and here we are having a good time. So Janette Thornley on with us. She was, all right. So I'm going to have you describe what you did. I know it's a Harley drag racing, motorcycle, Nitro, all that good stuff. But I know you got an official title, right?
Maybe. Champion might be in there somewhere.
Of course. You got to put that on there first, right?
Yeah.
In the front.
So about 10 years ago, in my mid-40s, I decided to venture into drag racing. Mm-hmm. And drag racing was a very new adventure for me, but the vehicle I chose to ride was a nitro methane powered V-twin. So it's modeled after the Harley motor for the V-twin and 45 degrees, but it doesn't have anything Harley on it. So
it couldn't have just been a regular gasoline.
No.
You had to go with the nitro methane. Now, did Buddy talk you into that? the nitromethane part?
No, you know who did?
No.
Was Ray Price out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
Longtime Harley dealer and drag racer himself. So
Tommy Foss comes in and brings the noise. So I thought there was a submarine coming through, a sonar going off. Yes. I remember you talking about Ray Price. The last time you were on the show was back in, I think, August of 2020 or September, something like that. It's been a while ago, though. A lot's changed since then. I guess.
Yeah, it has been a while. I mean, you know, so much has changed for those that was listening back then to those listening now that may not, you know, follow my race page. I mean, I had huge aspirations to, you know, be the top fuel, you know, get on a top fuel Harley and race NHRA and all that good stuff. And, you know, life is what it is. And lots of things changed when, you know, the early 2020 happened and various reasons that we didn't chase that as hard as we thought we needed to.
A lot of things got shut down, obviously, and there wasn't a crowd in the stands anymore. So, yeah, that happened to a lot of people, and I guess you were affected with that as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I remember you were excited about it. You were going to be going in and doing that and this and that and everything else, and then bam, hit a brick wall. The next, well, not literally, but anyway, yes. I shouldn't use that analogy when it comes to motorcycle or
that would
drag
not
racing.
Be good.
Any kind of drag racing, I guess. Yeah. All right. So all right. So you were talking about Ray Price.
Yeah.
If you want to go back to that, how did he influence you?
Well, you know, so my career took me to Harley-Davidson Motor Company, and during the time I spent working with the company, I traveled to various dealerships across the country, and Ray happened to be one of them that I launched their Learn to Ride program back in early 2000s. And he and his wife, Miss Jean, you know, beautiful family and you know, passionate about motorcycling. I actually happened to see him on the West Coast at a drag strip, watched him as a spectator, and kind of started chit-chatting about, you know, what the sport, and the next thing I knew, I was like, sounds interesting.
Yeah.
6 foot tall and a healthy woman, I chose to kind of chase, again, the nitromethane instead of, you know, the pro stock bikes. I admire everybody that drag races pro stock bikes, but I'm just not the jockey size that makes the best, you know, competitive rider.
Right. Yeah, I was noticing. I know this is off the wall, but they had those. Imagine that they had those the jockeys on the horses, you know. And I was explaining to somebody younger, that you see the jockeys there. They're a lot smaller. They're like small people, but that gives them an advantage. I mean, if you put somebody else, if you put Tommy Foss on the horse, you know what I mean. It's an aerodynamic disadvantage in a way too, but you know. So, yeah.
So nitromethane, you know, it actually likes a load.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It, you know, so that's the path I took. Was the smallest bike of the Nitro class is a carbureted 121 cubic inch and approximate 400 to 500 horsepower.
Wow, 400 to 500 horsepower. At that what is it? Horsepower to weight ratio is. Very good. That's fast. That's sitting on a rocket. What's the fastest you've been?
So on the carbureted bike, the quickest quarter mile I've made is a 720. And then my biggest mile per hour on the carbureted bike was 185 miles per hour. Okay. But when I was testing for the my top fuel license, I ran a 693 and a 690, and I ran 197 and 198.
Okay. All right. Buddy, is that pretty good? How fast is Buddy gone? So you can always hold that over his head.
He says he wouldn't get out of an electric chair to ride that thing.
No, I'm with him on that. I would not do two wheels. I would go out to the salt flats with four wheels and do that and try to go over 200, on the salt flat where you're just going straight, right? But no, you're going straight in a drag bike, but you only got 2 wheels, and half of that's one wheel.
Yeah, half the track you're usually up on the back wheel. So.
Yeah, I watched them at the 4-wheel, not the 4-wide. Well, I went to the 4-wide event out at the drag strip in Charlotte, and and you could tell I'm not a big drag racer. I love whenever I go, and it's like, you feel that in your chest, and it's like, wow. But I remember thinking them on those motorcycles are crazy. I mean, to go that fast on the 2 wheels, but you're not crazy. But I mean, it's wild. It takes a special kind of person to do that, for sure. You have to have guts, and you have to want the glory. Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy, I'm not going to tell you what he's doing. But yes. Anyway, so Bryson,
Tell me.
have you met Janette yet?
No, not until today. So, not until today.
There she is. There's this Bryson. Does he look like anybody familiar, maybe say from a movie, like Dirty Dancing, maybe, or Roadhouse?
Not even close. No. I don't have nothing on Patrick Swayze, no.
Yeah. He's modest. But yeah, that's what I call him, like young Patrick too,
Young Patrick. That's
Yeah.
okay.
The next generation of Patrick. So
The next gen of Patrick's. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But the show's not about you. But no, I'm kidding. Did you go to Hickory this weekend?
Yeah, I went to Hickory this weekend.
How'd that go?
It was good. Cars Tour came by, so that's always fun. The race was good. They had 100 for the 150 for the supers, and then the 100 for the late model stocks. So it was a good race, and a very clean race. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Always is at Hickory.
So you're working, but you're having fun.
Well, I'm basically, watching races as work, and I feel like I've really figured out how to do things in life because they're paying me to watch races. So that's pretty good in my book. So.
Right.
That's right. Get paid to do what you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to Janette. Janette, sorry. It brings you got paid to do what you enjoy doing, right?
Oh, yes.
But it's a lot of work at the same time. Yes.
Sure we did.
Yeah.
Right, babe?
A lot of work at the same time, though. I'm sure Buddy can attest to that. All the many hours that you had to put in just to get to the track, right?
Yep. And we pretty much were a 2-person team. We brought in a couple folks to help us on occasion, and always grateful for the help. But unless you have a full commitment, it can lead to errors, which of course can lead to problems. And having that consistent, with racing, consistency is key. So doing the same thing every time, and the routines not getting broke and all that. So it's a lot.
Yeah, my nephew, I actually went down to Gastonia Saturday to help him out to get his car ready, try to get his car ready, but we ended up spending all day. We were looking for carburetor fittings and all this kind of stuff. He's going to race at Bristol, and I believe he's probably on his way right now. And but all the work involved in it, I don't think that he even realized how much was in it, because then when he went to go get his pit box ready, then discovered that the tires were pretty much flat on that. So it's like, okay, now we got to work on the pit box. Spent days and nights and hours on the car, and then here we are.
Oh yeah. A couple times we get asked, why are you not coming to the race? And something comes up that you just have to make a choice. Especially 2019, 2020. It's a lot to get ready. When you're out of your groove, you just got to get. You got to have your heart and mind in it, because it's a lot.
You need to do things like go out there and ask Buddy early in the mornings if he needs some coffee after you get out of bed. If he needs some Mountain Dew after he's been working all night or something, right? Yeah. What did Buddy do at the beach? What did he do at the beach this weekend?
Rode around and had some fun.
Did you take the Harley?
He did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask him anymore. He says that his show is another show, a different time, right? I did get a call from Ted Musgrave this morning, though. Yeah, I sure did. Did he? Yeah. he had to run down to Florida to get some parts and stuff. I think they're boat parts is what he's doing. But I said, we got this thing called deliveries and Amazon and all this stuff. I didn't say that. It must have been big parts. What? Cheap? Oh, he's cheap, yeah. I saved $100 driving to Florida myself, right? It cost me $200 in gas. Yeah, I could see that. Anyway, all right, Bryson, do we have any questions coming in?
We have no questions, but we have a ton of people saying just, hello.
Yeah,
people tuned in.
Tell them hello.
So we want to say hey to David Marshall and Greg Gull, who are tuned in on Facebook, and Scott Trevison is tuned in from Daytona Beach, Florida. Dickie Dennis, Mike Bear, and Brandon Justice are all tuned in right now. So, Dickie actually just sent in a question as I'm speaking. He says, will she be running at the Virginia Motorsports Park?
Oh, okay. So we're going to get into another announcement here in just a little bit, right? Or whenever you're ready for it. I mean, are you going to? What you want to do?
Well, so officially, I already made my announcement last week that I am retiring from drag racing.
Okay.
So I will not be in Virginia racing. Virginia isn't one of the locations that we would travel to, that held our class. Anyway, I think the Pro Stock bikes are there. NHRA Pro Stock bikes, but I don't think they had the Nitro bikes there ever.
Okay. All right. So, but I'm sure you haven't lost the love for the sport. So what is that you were telling us about? Learn to ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So, early in my career, I started riding street bikes back in 2000. Was in 2000. I started riding street bikes in 1995. And in 98, I became a certified motorcycle safety instructor. Okay. And that's how I landed the position at Harley-Davidson Motor Company to help with their Learn to Ride program. It's called Ride-In Academy, if anybody's familiar with that out in the world. But I had a great career at Harley because of it. My passion for riding and then my passion for teaching others how to ride, took me to, to fulfilling people's dreams. So it was a great journey, which ended the end of 2016. But again, great opportunity for me. So I'm going to keep riding my street bike. Yeah. I'm dabbling in a couple of new adventures, but drag racing is, it wasn't something that I was truly passionate about when I met folks. Yeah. It just kind of happened. So.
I understand. Well, things just happen and then turned out for the right reasons at the right time. Hey there, who we got on the line with us?
This is Deborah Campbell, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Hey, Deborah Campbell. Nice to meet you. This is Hamm.
Janette she's an awesome racer. She's been a role model to women racers and men racers alike. She's really going to be missed in Beach Bend Park Raceway.
I love Beach Bend. Good to hear from you, Zeb. Beach Bend was always good to me. We had one summer there that we actually took all 3 events. I'm sure you were there.
I know. I remember I was there.
Yeah.
So tell us why were you there? What was your role?
I have my mother and father met at Beach Bend, and I've been going there my whole life. I started out going to the stock car races with my dad, and and I have a Harley Drag Bowling Green, Kentucky group trying to get the Harley Drags built back up. So I'm there every one of them.
All right.
Yeah, so for any listeners out there, if you're within driving distance to Bowling Green, Kentucky, they put a heck of a Harley event on. I believe I don't know if they're still doing 3 events, but check out their website because they know how to put on a show for the folks, and they got a campground next door. So it's just really fun for all.
We don't have the April anymore.
Okay.
Just June and September now.
So June and September events.
Yes. Yes, April stopped back in 2020.
All right, very good. And that's in Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, Kentucky, yes.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. I've never been there. It's one place I've not been to.
Corvette Museum.
Well, you'll have to come check it out.
I need to do that, don't I? Yes. The Corvette Museum, that'd be a good one, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Very close together, within 10 miles.
All right. Well, I'm sure Janette will be back. She won't be able to stay away from there very long.
I got an excuse to ride my motorcycle and come see my fans.
That's right, exactly.
That's right.
Yes. There you go. And she might even take Buddy along with her. Put him on the back of the motorcycle.
Oh, we couldn't do without Buddy now. You got it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a matching set there.
Yeah. He's one of a kind. Nobody can do without him. Right? Yes. Hey, well, do you have any good stories about Janette?
Nothing that she's just an awesome racer and an awesome person.
Oh, that's nice of you.
And she really likes to go fast.
Yes, she does, doesn't she? I thought you were going to say nothing that I could tell on the radio, but anyway.
Well, yeah, I can't tell everything.
All right, here's the deal. You tell us, we won't tell anybody. Promise.
Right.
We're not live. We're not worldwide right now. All right. Well,
good luck, Janette, on whatever you decide to do, hon.
Well, I sure appreciate it, all your support that you've shown me on social media and, with everyone out there. So you take care of yourself, and I appreciate it.
You're going to be missed.
Oh, thank
very
you.
good. Hey, but thanks so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, very good. So that's one of your biggest fans, I guess you could say, right? All the way from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah, that's one of the things I do love about social media. It's kind of one of those love-hate things, but being able to, stay in contact with those that you meet at the racetrack and, they follow you, they become family. She's one of them. I've got several, actually, folks like that. They'll, some aren't bashful and they'll come right up to you at the pits and say hello. And some, they get right on that social media. They're not afraid to ping you on the private message. And I love to reach back, to folks and stay connected.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Do you ever have any racers come along and they say you inspired me to get on the bike and do that?
Yeah. I mean, not only just racing, you've inspired me to race, but, there's a lot of stories around just, people can relate. Because oftentimes when I do have the time, again, two-person team makes it difficult to have some time to sit and chat with fans. But when I do have time and I kind of share my story of, a little bit of hardship early on, losing my father and my brother at a young age, and some of the trials that I've been through that, it's that I inspire them, so on or off the track, I've been lucky that, folks will look to me and say, I can overcome, things.
For sure.
So it's been a great journey. It really has. I've been blessed for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So speaking of that, is there anything that you would want to tell someone that was listening right now? Would you want to tell that story, or have you got started in your biggest motivations and things, or whatever you want to tell people that might be a little bit down and thinking, you know what, I'd love to do this, but I just don't feel like I can do it,
I appreciate that, Hamm, because I think there's not a negative energy in our world.
Yeah. And
one of the things that often, especially women, I think men face it as well. I don't want to discount their feelings, but I know women that I speak with and friends of mine, we often get put into a category of how we need to be and what we should be, and career and family, children, all those things that society kind of presents to us as say, this is how you should be.
The norm, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yes. The new normal is what. Yeah.
And,
anyway.
and I'm not the only one that, have stepped aside and haven't fulfilled, I guess, the norm. There are several others out there, but, I didn't have children of my own. I had a couple failed marriages, but I am in a point in my life because I kept remained hopeful that I have a beautiful family and little ones that call me grandma, So, I guess my message to those that could be down and out for whatever the reason may be, I actually said this to somebody just last night. Sometimes being happy is as simple as the choice of, do I pick up the banana or the Oreo cookie?
Yeah, I need to hear that.
I shouldn't say simple. It's
I got you.
It's not simple. It's a choice though.
Yes, right.
That oftentimes I choose, so if it's a rainy day, I choose to see the rainbow, instead of fuss about, the rain and what it's doing to my day.
Right. In other words, you have that choice to decide whether it's going to be a good day or it's going to be a bad day. If you want to say, I'm going to have a bad day, it's just going to be bad, then you shouldn't even say that, because you're probably going to end up, something's going to happen. You're just going to turn it into the worst instead of thinking, you step in that water puddle, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe this just happened to me. You're thinking, well, you know what? I didn't want to wear these shoes today anyway, or these socks, whatever, Exactly. Just turn it into something like that,
I mean, as simple, you hear a lot of people say, keep it simple,
Yes.
The KISS system.
Yes.
And, and sometimes it's retraining our brain to think differently about why things are happening to me or what has happened to me and what lesson can I learn because I didn't get the job I applied for.
Right.
It's like, well, wait a minute, it might have been that the door wasn't the right one for you,
Yes.
So again, I think, for me, as I stumble through life at nearly 55, I, look at it that, well, shoot, I wasn't meant to have that.
Yeah. Right. Yes. I'd look at things that way too. Like whenever I when I was working in NASCAR, my first job in NASCAR, when I went and applied for it, I did not get that job, but something better come along, just a couple months later. So just be patient. And if you don't get it, it's probably, there's a reason, and something better is going to come along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't, you can't move forward looking in the rearview mirror. You can learn from the past, but you have to be looking forward and focus on what you got going in your future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
So speaking of that, we did have a comment. Did you see that comment on Facebook?
From Mike or Susan? Yeah. Okay. So we have one from both of them. Susan's comment says, "Nice to see another female drag racer and a woman who loves speed." So,
awesome. Thanks, Susan.
Yes. Well, you look at the female drag racers. I don't know about it in the motorcycle field, but you had Shirley Muldowney, who apparently still around. Like, I see her on Facebook.
She's out there a lot. She's at the drag races a lot. NHRA invites her out, and
yeah,
very active.
That's very cool, because I remember her from when I was just a young chap. 40 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there, in the NASCAR world, there was Janet Guthrie, Patty Moise, and Shauna Robinson, to name a few. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few drag racers in the car. Leah, you've got Erica, who's Erica Enders that won some championships. We've got several in the motorcycle pro stock class. Angie Smith, Kelly Klontz, Karen Stouffer. Karen and Angie actually went to the finals in, where did they race? Oh, Arizona. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And who else is out there? There's Jillian, Salinas, and there's 4 or 5, I think, in the class. So motorcycles. So the biggest probably class of, biggest class that has ladies.
Okay.
Multiple ladies in it.
And they all say, what am I having my mic now? All right. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break.
Yep.
And play some commercials right quick. And we'll be right back to Racing Roots with Hamm.
Hey guys, just a little reminder, Elm Fantasy Store has this special rack of lingerie, and there's a new selection of fantasy bedroom games.
(876-6279) and start a great job with great folks at KM Electrical Heating and AC.
And we're back to Racing Roots with Hamm. And we've got Janette Thornley in with us. And joining us in the studio is Buddy Foss and Tommy Foss over there as well. They're remaining incognito tonight. I asked Tommy if he wanted to come over and talk, but I don't think he really wants to. He's a little camera shy, you know. And he likes to make fun of me for not wanting to go up on the clock tower, you know, climb up there. I told him one of these days I'm going to send him a selfie of me up there, you know. It'll be like the Dickie Dennis wannabe picture with the 4-car passing by.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm totally kidding with you about that, Dickie.
There's a picture right over there of a boy up there on top of the clock tower.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's been in here for a while, but yeah, I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah.
That's a cool picture, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, people back then, well, no, never mind. I mean,
he's probably going up there to change it or something.
Gosh. So this building's been here since oh my gosh, I just did a video. What did I say? 1889 or something, I think. And the clock tower was added like a year later. So it's been here that long. Over 100 years. Do the math real quick, you know, 120 years. 123. What's that? Ted Musgrave was probably here, yes. He was around back then. You know, that was back before the wheels were round. They were still square. Actually,
oh, wow.
He might have been around when they were still soft. You know, that was a really long time ago. Back in the day, Sonny, the wheels were just still molten lava, you know.
I can barely remember those days.
Yeah, you weren't around. You were just a young 16.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
When do you turn 17?
Late August. I will be 17.
You got a while.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? He's just that young.
Yeah, to think. Yeah.
Oh, to be young again. But here's one thing. Here's a piece of advice.
Tell me.
Don't watch the news.
I've learned that one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Very good. Hey, good evening, caller. Who do we have on the line with us?
Ron Moats.
Ryan Muggs.
Ron.
Oh, Ron.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeanette knows you, Ron.
Hi,
Ron.
Jeanette.
Hey, Ron.
She saved the day.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's good to hear from you.
Yes, I was talking to Hamm a little bit about what we do up at your school too. So looking forward to being there in April.
The girls are all looking forward to hearing from you again too. And I've explained to them your situation with retiring and that you're moving on to more a public role speaking position. And they're still excited. The way they feel is that you've already achieved all of those goals, shown your dominance in what's basically a male-dominated sport. And, you know what the deal is. You've gotten all my girls watching videos on YouTube of motorcycle drag racing.
Yeah.
These are females that, otherwise probably would not be watching that. But, that's a great thing. At least in my eyes it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your school about?
We're a true magnet school, the only true public magnet school in the Forsyth County. We have 4 distinct curriculums there: the engineering, AP engineering, biotechnology, allied health, and scientific visualization, which is using digital video arts to explain scientific phenomena and laws. So rather than just strictly game art, you can use it to explain theories and sciences. But we are not a residential school. You have to elect to go there. And we have a lot of after-school clubs to participate in. I manage 2 of them, an alternative fuel club and the Girls in STEM club. And I try to get speakers in once a month for the girls who are positive role models. And Janette has just helped me out enormously over the years, even during COVID, letting me come out and video her for the girls on Skype. So, a positive input from industry and industry-related professionals who have gracious professionalism and can help guide young people in a particular direction is just a fantastic thing. I wish there were more professionals who are willing to do that and spend their time to help guide and direct, our teen youth today.
Yeah, it's been, I've been fortunate enough to have been invited up to the program that Ron supports, and I learn a lot from the girls as well. It's just, it's such a heartwarming engagement, to see their excitement and, to ask questions and know that this is our future. These girls are our future. Whether it be in motorsports or, leading the country or something else, So right. I feel privileged to be able to support their efforts. So.
And she does a wonderful job at it too, I might add.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, Jeanette's great. And that goes back to what we were kind of talking about this a little bit ago about how whenever you're just like trying to keep a positive attitude and be happy about your day and that type of thing. And it definitely helps whenever you can help someone else, when you're molding the minds of these young people. And, it makes you feel good about the future when you can help with that too. Makes you have a better day.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ron does a lot for them. Yeah.
Thank you. I just try to facilitate different opportunities. It helps a lot if young people can see it. If you can see it, you can be it. If you don't ever see anybody in these alternative roles, it's hard to imagine that, something that you feel strongly about, that you can do it, especially in male-dominated fields. It's very hard to find positive speakers who can relate experiences in their life and help young people to know that it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times that are trying, but don't sacrifice your own self-worth for, other people's visions of what you should be and what you can and can't do. And having people that are willing to come in and speak to that really helps a lot.
Yeah, and Hamm and I were talking a little bit about that, how the stereotypes are not necessarily stereotypes, but how we can get formed into, because family traditions or, society. And you recall the one talk that I had with the girls about, I'm not proud of it, but, I didn't get to finish college, but that's not the end of the world, that you can have a great career, in it, so, but the stress that these high school folks might be feeling because they need to be making selections and they need to be, what am I going to do the rest of my life? And that might change 3 times,
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. It's very difficult to, and I've said this a lot of times, it's very difficult to tell a student or a high schooler or a teenager that you need to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life when you're still telling them they got to ask for a pass to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
and I'm 55 and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And 55, is a great time to reinvent yourself sometimes. My true passion and my true love is motorcycle racing. I make no qualms about that. But I asked Janette if she would be willing to come and speak to my girls at one time. She said, absolutely. And I get a lot of guest speakers who come in and cannot relate well to teens, and they may talk over their head, talk too much, or be specific. And I honestly felt with all my heart after the first time I told Janette, you really have a place in speaking. You do a great job of it. When it's all said and done, you're very relatable. You can keep it simple and speak off the cuff and change direction in a conversation, and still keep it on topic. And she's one of the few people who I continuously look to come back every year to speak to my new girls, just because of that reason. You can bring in somebody who's got a PhD in neuroscience and can tell you all the things that you can do to get through college, or I can bring in a female welder who is an artist who can tell you all the reasons not to go to college. But it's very difficult to find somebody who can tell you that whatever you're doing and whatever you want to do is all right. And it's okay to change directions, that you need to be true to yourself and be willing to, accommodate setbacks, step back and say, well, that didn't work, or that's not what I really thought it would be, and be willing to change. And again, here she is at this point in her life, reconfiguring, her passion and her purpose. And I think it's just going to be absolutely fantastic no matter what she does.
I can't wait to see you and Betty out on the road on 2 wheels. We will hook up one of these days, so I promise.
Well, we're going down to watch the new Mission Foods King of the Baggers class down in Georgia, and I've found a sudden passion for that lately, and there's a few females getting involved in that, and that's kind of a misplaced sport here. It's like big full dressers on a road racing course. They don't belong there.
Hold on, why is it
Here
called King of the Baggers?
Because they're big.
Is that it?
Street bagger bikes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, people, saying what should and shouldn't be. Who is anyone to make the decision, what you can and you can't do?
Yeah.
The people are just, it's a very relatable sport. People can see it looks like their bike out there, and it's brought a new passion to that. And, anytime people have passion for anything, doesn't matter what it is. I'm not super thrilled about electric vehicles because, it's not the cure-all answer, but my kids are just emphatic about it. They just love it. So I'll continue to work with them, and I find that truly humbling when people can do what it is that they feel passionate about and be that excited, no matter what it is, as long as it's good for society and it's not hurting anybody else. If you want to race rototillers, go out and race rototillers.
Oh, there's an idea. Yeah, I might do that. I'm going to start working on that tomorrow. I'm sure Tommy Foss will be sending me pictures later. Hey, you should do this. Yes, I got you. Anyway, hey, well, thanks so much for calling. When are you going to see Janette next? What's the date?
April 20th.
Yes.
There you go.
Right? For April 20th, I'll be up at the school. So
I hope to touch base with you before then, and thanks a lot for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling. Very good.
Have a great night, both of you.
Take care. You do the same.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right. So do they have like a social media site, I'm sure, or is it just you're going to go up and do that for the school?
No, it's not something that's really publicized, and actually school. We have to, I can't really take photos and share a whole lot, too, because the kids, the girls.
I got you.
So.
All right. Well, that's very good because you do very well in public speaking and that type of thing. And now you're, around 100,000 people, all over the world tuning in right now as we speak. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at the numbers over here right now.
Thanks for backing me up there, Bryson. I like that.
Absolutely.
We did have a comment though. Tim, Random Epic, which his name is Tim. He said I got unsubscribed from your history channel. I don't know about that, Tim. I have no idea. You must have done something wrong, but I didn't take you off of there, so I'm not sure. I have another YouTube channel called History Hamm, where I go out and look for artifacts and such. So if y'all are into that, get over there and check it out. And Scott Trevison says, shameless plug there, congratulations to Ross and the entire Trackhouse Racing team. Yes, the Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain, won the race. Where was that race? Coda?
Yeah, Circuit of the Americas. Yep.
And I had a busy weekend. I was working on a dirt track car because my nephew's gone up to Bristol. Brandon Blair representing right here, number 42. He's headed up there right now as we speak. He was supposed to have been there yesterday, but anyway, that's another story. That's the way it goes in racing,
That's it.
Yes. So he is on his way up there. But I also wanted to go ahead and thanks to Neil Johnson once again. We missed him this evening. Swimming Pool and Spa. Give them a call, 704-727-2488. And swimmingpoolandspa.com for the website. But they do pool liners, shock your pool. He'll come out personally and be your pool boy, whatever you need. He might even make you a daiquiri or a pina colada or something.
Right. Oh, wow.
And just bring it over to you. That's a good idea. See, Neil, I just made your $1 million idea. The swimming pool and spa, we provide the margaritas. How about that?
There you go.
Marketing genius. Hey, there, our buddy Will Cronkite there as well. And I said Scott Trevison, you were talking about him down in Daytona.
Yep.
And Dickie Dennis. Oh, my wife Tracy is tuned in, so
yes,
we miss her so much this evening.
We do.
Hi, Tracy.
Yes. Didn't that sound very nice?
You sounded genuine.
Thank you. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Genuine. So you've been bailing me out, me and Ron, and you just anyway, saving the day. And my buddy Phil Cavalli, who we missed again this evening. So
I know
he's been having some procedures and things done. So hopefully he gets better soon. Right now he's probably munching on some ribs. He was invited to let's see, where did he say he was going? Anyway, somewhere around here, about an hour from his house, which is over off of out that way and towards Denver. So yeah. Anyway, unsubscribe to me. I did never do that. I'll go back on there. I'll find you and I'll follow your YouTube channel. So, all right. So back to Janette Thornley, who we got in here this evening. If y'all are just tuned in on the radio, if you want to see us here live in the Randy Marine studio, you can go on to my YouTube channel, DHammiam. We are also streaming on Facebook, but it looks like the camera's kind of far away on the Facebooks, which it is way over there.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all on Facebook land. You can switch over to DHammiam on YouTube, and you can see close-ups of Janette.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Live action, telling her story, and she's got some great stories to tell. And great stories of inspiration and motivation. You should be a motivational speaker, not just to the young girls or whatever, but to everybody.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Starting
right there.
It's funny you say that. One of the projects that I've been, working on is transitioning into a public speaker and an author.
There you go.
I was full blown moving forward last year, and there's just something that has told me I wanted to take a little bit of a breather, and help to play with these kids and my grandkids and get some other things in order and put together. So it's I don't think that's one of the things that I do tell folks that society puts enough pressure on ourselves as it is. So if we can eliminate the pressure by not, for me, I shouldn't say I don't like deadlines, but if I've got a goal, there's some goals that need deadlines and some that don't.
True.
So for me, transitioning into a public speaker, I mean, right now it's if I get an invite and it fits my schedule, I'm game. I love to support, and I'll, try to support the topic or the need, whatever it could be, and tailor a message around, the audience. But again, I had a dream to be a coach and help develop others, through my experiences. And right now I feel like I just need to breathe a little bit and go to the beach.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, and I, thankfully I have the flexibility that I can do that, with the work that I'm doing. And I know that I'm a believer. I believe, for those that, trust that, God's got a path for me, and I'm going to walk that path in His time. So, so that's just kind of the journey that I'm on.
Yeah. Well, one good thing too is take a pen and a paper or a phone. Well, whatever. If you're sitting on the beach, you can actually write notes on what you want to have in your book or whatever you want to do, right? And I was having this talk with Tracy, I guess it was a couple nights ago, and I was saying, talking about things, you got to find your why. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? And then whenever you talk to people, it doesn't matter really if you affect one person in a positive way, then it's worth it, because you think about too, this person, they're younger, they're going to think about you just like you do people that have influenced you in a positive way when you were, 30, 40 years ago. And you carried that through your life. You never forgot about the person, and instead of the negative stuff.
For sure.
And that carries them through their life.
Yep.
Not that you're looking, for credit or anything, but it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's like paying it forward, and molding the future generations.
Yep.
Right, Bryson? We're molding you, young man.
Like them 7-year-olds we got running around.
This guy over here can mold you.
I just had to get in on the speaking part. I want to say she's pretty good at speaking.
Oh, she's had a lot of practice.
Making fun of me.
Yeah, she's good at talking.
She's good.
Just had to say that.
Well, is that why she has a bike now and she goes to the beach on her bike and you go separately? Is that what the deal is?
Pretty much.
You don't have one of those walkie-talkie things, the earpiece you can talk?
No.
Okay.
She does sign language.
When her lips aren't moving, her fingers are moving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, how do you feel about all this? I mean, the retirement thing, and then, retiring from the drag bike racing.
I'm fine with it. I mean, that's her deal, you know.
Yeah.
I always told her if she could do it as long as she wanted to, but I'd never make her or never try to get her to ride it.
I got you. Well, now what are you going to do?
Well, we still have the motorcycle, and there's people out there that want to ride, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
We can hire you if you want to ride.
No.
There you go.
No, I can't even climb up to the clock tower. How am I going to get on a bike?
Well, it's easy.
Wheels?
Girls do it. You just...
Oh, wait a minute. He said it's easy. Did you hear what he said? Hold on. I didn't hear what you said, Tommy. Yeah, I know you do. You took that video. Is that what you sent me earlier? You sent me a video.
He's going to keep my project car going.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the project car. It's looking pretty good. I was impressed when I saw pictures. Like it's moving right along.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a while, though, don't it? I understand. Yes. What was that part about it being easy? You just said a minute ago.
Well, girls do it, so.
And that's what we were just talking about. You know, he must not have been listening.
I have to do the hard part. Listen to her when I go pick her up when it don't go fast.
Oh, I can see that. Yes.
That's the hard part.
That's any driver, though, right? I mean,
yeah. She's really good at being a driver.
Yeah. Well, which driver was the most interesting that you worked for? That was let's say the one that whined the most.
Well, I don't know.
Jimmy Spencer.
No, Jimmy didn't whine. He just, I mean, he didn't whine.
I can imagine.
He done a lot of things, but whining wasn't one of them.
Yes.
I don't know. They're all about the same.
They're all about the same. Yeah, that's probably pretty true. Yeah. Some are just a little more vocal though.
Yeah.
Some like to cuss a little bit more. Some like to slam others a little bit more.
Well, Jimmy's got the record for cussing. He can cuss an entire lap around Talladega under caution.
There you go.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that. Powder Puff. I think it's what we used to call him. But anyway, he's had all kinds of nicknames throughout the year. Jimmy Spencer, that is.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement, that was a big one. Mm-hmm.
And Grandpa here, we need to make note. Grandpa here taught one of the twins how to ride the motorcycle without training wheels.
Wow.
So
okay.
This just occurred a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, he can't ride the bicycle, but he knows he can ride that bike. So, we have plenty of things to keep us busy.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Ain't it something how you always find stuff? I mean, you're probably going to be busier, let's say, now you're probably busier than you were maybe when you were drag racing, I found that I'm busier now than when I worked in NASCAR,
Oh, yeah.
I guess because I had an excuse then that, I got to work. No, I got to work. Now it's like, okay, sure. I don't really have an excuse, I mean, I still work, but on my own schedule, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Bryson, you got any comments over there?
Yeah. Will Cronkite says you should write a book. So, and he actually said he's talking about a new book project, but so he's tuned in and says, talk her into writing a book. So that's coming from Will Cronkite. And Random Epic wants to know what's your project car.
So my project car, I have a 58 English Ford Anglia. The story behind that is when my dad was, unfortunately, was killed when I was 6, so in 1974. And this was one of his last project cars that he bought. He used to buy and tinker and sell. Bought it for $25. I don't think it ran, but he just always had a ball with it. $25. I got the receipt still.
Wow.
And my mom kept it all the years, and it went to an uncle, and he tried to get it going, and we had it painted and different various stages of kind of getting it running. And but now it's for real. It's like it's got a whole new fabricated frame, so it's gonna be a street rod. It's got 12-inch rears. It's been tubbed out and 7-inch front tires, and barely enough room for the 6-foot me and 6'2" him.
But you know the guy doing it.
Eric Ellington. He's helping us, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fabricator at Hendricks
Yeah.
and Michaels. And
I remember the name. Yes.
Shane Johnson. They got it over there shopping.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been hard on that project for about 6 months now?
Oh yeah, at least 6 months.
Maybe 7. I mean, it's kind of, sometimes we dabble in it and then, it would get put away for a little bit and we'd look for a motor, whatever. But now it's like, it's on. My goal, talk about goals. My goal is to have it done for an August event and take it back to Oregon, which is where I was born and raised, into the Drag the Gut event that my dad and my mom used to do.
Drag the Gut.
Yeah.
Is that like whatever the other one was? It was something about the big stuff. The Blob or something. I don't know. They got some interesting names for those shows, it sounds like. Yeah.
This is actually like Main Street, just park in Main Street and do like a car show, and then you just kind of drag, you drive it. You just do laps.
Okay. I got you.
That's what's dragging the gut. That's what I did when I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
Drag the gut.
Yeah. So is that your inspiration for motorcycles, was being from Oregon and doing that?
Honestly, I don't know where the inspiration for motorcycles came from because, again, I didn't grow up with a father. And, none of my uncles, they were all athletic, but none of them, got into, I don't remember them being into hot rods of any sort. And so I guess but I honestly think that it was hereditary, in the scheme of things, it's I look back now, it's hereditary.
It's
my
in your
dad,
blood.
yeah, he was a little hellion.
Quick, right back to that car though. Did you found it and moved it here from Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, my mom had it all these years.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she kept it all these years.
Because you got that's right.
Yeah, and when I became an adult.
Yeah. You
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I finally moved it out here.
Then you decided you can actually move it now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a grown up. We got the technology. So in other words, you sent Buddy out there.
Yeah.
And his hauler, and he picked it up and brought it home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I was right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long ways.
Yeah, I guarantee it is. You can't imagine driving to Oregon.
He just went to California and back.
Man. Oh, did you?
Was it about a month ago?
Did you take the Oregon Trail out there to Oregon?
When you go across the upper part, you do go on part of the Oregon Trail.
Oh, nice.
It's marked on the road signs.
Oh, it's okay. Cool. Now I've been on the Apache Trail, and it's over in Arizona, and I remember one of the things was a tarantula crossing the street, like just crossing the road, and I'm like, all right, I think I'll stay back 100 yards and let it cross. I could see it that far away. That's a big spider. You can see it 100 yards. Well, it might have been 30 yards, but whatever. It was up
like
there.
100 yards to you, right?
Yeah, it was 100 yards might have been better because I didn't want to get anywhere near. I had this image. If I even go over it, it's going to do like the Spider-Man, and it's going to latch onto my car. The next thing I know, I'm going to see it in my rear view mirror in the back window. And then the next thing is going to be climbing in the window or something somehow. So I just had this image, and it gives me goosebumps. I'm like, okay. Anyway, back to Janette. Or how about this? You got any comments or questions?
No more questions. But Bill Blair's tuned in. He says he's enjoying the show.
Oh, good. Hey, Mr. Bill Blair.
And Jim Dooley says, Janette, stick to the bikes. I love it. Hamm can barely handle a harmonica.
Oh, is that
right? So no bikes for Hamm.
I used to keep my harmonica here, and I would reach for it every once in a while, but it's not there. So on Wednesday nights, Jim always kind of makes a comment about that. Me playing with whoever we got playing on stage. And, I just don't have it with me. I'm sorry about that. Yes, thanks for that. And Mr. Bill Blair, I started to call him earlier, and I know he had a show. I don't know if he had it tonight or not, but his first race was in 1940, and his dad won Daytona in 1953. They won the Daytona Beach Road Course. And so he's done a lot in the motorsports racing field and in his automotive shop and all that stuff throughout the years. But I was curious to know if he ever had any dealings with the motorcycle stuff, because they used to race those down on the beaches at Daytona. And I believe too, they at one point when everybody was at Ormond Beach up there, you know, when I went down the road and Bill was there too, riding in his dad's old car on the beach, the 4.1 mile course. It was part of the original, but not the whole thing. And whenever we were down there, but it was in Ponce Inlet, which was south of Daytona. Well, then Ormond Beach, you've been to Ormond Beach before. You know, they would race down the beach. And I believe they turned around and come back too at that point. But
I'm not sure.
There's like different memorials and stuff there, like pictures of the motorcycle riders and stuff, you know. So that would be cool. You ever rode on a beach or a salt flat or anything like that? Just a strip.
What's a strip?
Okay. Yeah. What's the furthest one away that you've ridden on or drove or whatever you call it?
What's the what?
The furthest one away, like Pomona. Or, I mean, have you?
Oh, race?
Yeah.
When NHRA carried our class, we went to Seattle, Washington, and we did Pomona.
Okay. Yeah, I've been by Pomona.
And we also raced in Oregon. It wasn't an NHRA event, but we
raced in Sonoma too.
In Sonoma. Okay. Yeah.
Sonoma.
Oh, did I not say that?
You said Pomona, but
I didn't.
But not
we
Sonoma.
never raced in.
We
Pomona.
never raced there. We took Rich rode the big bike there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But we raced in Sonoma and then went straight to Seattle.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I said Pomona.
So California and Washington, you said Seattle? Okay.
Yeah.
And some in Oregon, but it wasn't in NHRA. But yeah, but still, nonetheless, that's really cool. And what's the longest track? What, a quarter mile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only raced one 8th mile event. And that was actually last year at Darlington. So I prefer the quarter mile. A lot of people like the 8th mile, but.
So why do you prefer the quarter mile? Because you get up to a bigger top speed.
It's probably because it's all I know. You know, a lot of, in part of it, I think our bike tend to run better. Oh, I shouldn't say run better. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, each bike has kind of its unique characteristics. Some bikes you could get them to 60 foot, and so you get your numbers, your good numbers on the short. You know, the first 60, 330, and then other bikes, they're really making their time on the second half of the run, and that tend to be what ours would be. Was we didn't always get the best 60 foots of, you know, the category, but we often, you know, it could be number one qualifier because just ran.
Mile per hour real good.
Okay. I guess that part of that's in your gearing and engine combination, you know, RPMs and your gear range, and
it's all in the tuner.
In the clutch.
It's all in the
clutch
tuner.
is everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody
so
can
if
make
the clutch,
power, but
clutch
the
is
clutch
slipping,
is,
then that's not good. You're wasting power. Okay. Heavier springs or whatever.
Well, we use weights.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, we got springs too, but mostly weights.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Centrifugal type clutch thing. Okay.
2-stage slipper clutch.
All right. So if you need any advice on your drag bike, you do that?
No, I tell them.
He's not good at it.
She don't let me talk to people much.
I thought you were gonna say I don't like helping people.
No, he enjoys helping people, but
ones that'll listen.
If you want help, you probably should listen. I mean, you know, I'm not saying he knows it all because he doesn't, but you know, and these bikes are unique, but it's, you know, he picked it up quickly. You know, coming from NASCAR, knowing nothing about nitromethane, you know, he did amazing, you know, with the learning curve. So
I was fortunate enough to work with Johnny Vickers for 4 years, you know, and he's like, when it comes to carbureted motorcycles, he's the man. Don't get no better.
Okay.
And I kind of picked it up from him because anything you know about tuning gas, you can forget it when you got nitromethane.
Sure.
It's all different.
Yeah. Is that, how many, let's see, so gas, I guess it takes a lot more fuel with nitromethane, right?
Oh, yeah.
A lot more. Okay. Yeah.
The more you can burn, the more power to make.
Oh.
And it likes to be loaded. You got to keep it loaded.
Okay.
You don't like RPMs.
Wow. So one of the things that, you know, you're working in NASCAR too, you learned that if you start, we're talking about helping someone, if you start trying to tell somebody, how to do something, and they say, yeah, I know, and they don't want to listen to you, then you're like, okay, I'm checked out, I'm done, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. Yes, that's good. All right, so Bryson, we got any questions?
Yeah. Let's see here.
Will Cronkrite's question.
Oh, the
what is a drag race car?
But yeah, I saw that one. I think he was asking about the project car when we were talking about it. Was it a drag race car? I think is what he was getting at.
Okay.
It'll be strong enough to go down the racetrack, and we talked about putting a wheelie bar on it.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
I don't want to beat it up.
Yeah, there you go. So, Will Cronkrite tunes in all the time. He's been on my show a few times, but he has a book. I was a NASCAR redneck, so you can check it out, NASCARredneck.com. But he's talking about writing another book, but he provided the first competitive race car for Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 1978.
Wow.
He was the crew chief for Ricky Rudd in 1977 when he was Rookie of the Year. And then he worked with Donnie Allison, Janet Guthrie, a bunch of people throughout the years. He's been in racing 65 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So him and when Mr. Bill Blair tunes in too, it's great because he's been around a long time. He's been his first race in 1940, so.
Well, thanks for joining us, fellas. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I learned so much from him. Every time I talk to him, it's just like, I listen. I shut up and I listen. Believe it or not, I shut up. There's a time to talk and there's a time to listen. Is that a song?
That's back when guys, them were real race car drivers back then, not kind of like what they got now.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I totally agree. For sure. They were tough and they had character. And they were allowed to speak, If
they didn't like what happened, they'd get out and talk about it after the race. And wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, you were talking about earlier about what driver was the whiniest. That might not have been necessarily who was the whiniest years ago, but today you could probably find some whiny ones pretty easily.
Oh, it's easy today.
Yeah, it ain't. That's not very hard,
Yeah, for sure. And the other thing, back then they had to work on the cars. They didn't just show up and drive them.
Yep. And their daddies wasn't rich.
And that's the other thing. Very good point there too. Yes. Bill Blair, he gave me this post. It's a picture, a painting or drawing, and it was his dad's car chained to a tree. This was the chassis dyno back in the day. And Bill's standing there as a little kid holding his ears. And it was, one of the race cars / moonshine cars. There's a 39 Ford parked behind the barn, which is like the ultimate of the moonshine cars. And they're checking they're adjusting the distributor, setting the timing, while they rev the engine up and setting chassis dyno back in the day. Yeah. Before chassis dynos were around.
Right.
And the more I learn about all that stuff, I see that they were doing things back then that whenever I got into NASCAR, they were still doing kind of the same old things, just like in Will Cronkrite's book, he talks about Mario Rossi and how he would glue the lug nuts on the wheels, like we did. And then, made the stud, the little bullet end on the stud, and then also on the hub, and that would hold the lug nuts, and then the hub would slide the wheel on.
They had 5 lug nuts, too, instead of 1.
That's right. The standard 5, and now it's 1. Anyway, so there's the changes in NASCAR history, and within 2 minutes we just talked about it. So what else?
All right. John Mulder says, Janette, what would be some advice you would give to a person moving from gas drag bikes to Nitro this year?
Ooh. I think with anything, it's I don't want to say don't overthink it in a nonchalant way, but there's some fundamentals of drag racing that you will bring forward. And I think having that was one of the things that I didn't have. I didn't have any drag racing experience. So not only did I need to learn how to ride a nitromethane powered motorcycle, I needed to learn how to drag race. I didn't know what the lights were, what they meant, how staging worked. All that stuff.
So you got a video game system and you sit there and practice.
So I think for him, you got a little bit of an advantage, so you don't need to learn, both. Yeah. My advice would be to focus on, learning the differences between, how the operationally how they work.
Nitromethane, you got to keep it revved up?
No.
You don't? Okay. Okay.
It likes to load. It's like to pull like a tractor.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stay loaded.
Okay. So you got to keep it loaded. All right.
I mean, her motorcycle, it turns maybe 6,100 when it goes through the lights. I mean, maybe 6,100.
Oh.
You don't want it to go much over that.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
I think the other advice for this person is, who was it again?
Rob Mulder, I believe.
Rob Mulder. Okay.
John Mulder, sorry.
John, I was going to say, make sure that you learn from somebody that knows nitromethane is not something to, kind of play with, and like Buddy said, he learned, Johnny Vickers up in Wilkesboro is pretty much the guy who builds the carbureted bikes. Most people are running, his motorcycle in the class. There's a couple off.
If you want to go fast, you got to have his.
There's a couple offshoots of it, but it's and if you're going to ride an injected bike, there's a guy that is one of the best. A couple people that you can learn from to do that. But I think that's really the key is, those things blow up. I mean, there's a reason we wear a Kevlar vest, to protect our critical organs, and there's a reason why we don't sit on the motorcycle when we fire it. There's reason there's a belt that's wrapped around the entire motor and frame.
Right. Keep it from flying in the stands or whatever if it goes, right?
Keep it blowing you off.
Yeah, that too.
Because you're laying right
sitting
over
on
the
it.
cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're laying over it. You're not sitting on it. You're laying. Your chest is over top of the motor. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the last thing I would say is go at your pace. I mean if you are any way, shape, or form not mentally or physically 100%, especially in your learning curve, in the earlier, I think people who, when it becomes second nature, I think you can get away with maybe a little bit of physical ailment. Like when my ankle was twisted, I could ride, but man, if I had a head cold or my head wasn't right, forget it. I sit it out. It's just not something to play with.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it anyway. But I'd be sick every week. You're like, I can't do it. Can't do it. So, but speaking of that, Buddy, do you feel like you're actually kind of relieved? I mean, that she decided to hang it up. I mean, not I'm sure you enjoyed it and she enjoyed it, but I'm saying just that you don't have to worry about her now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that's glad it's kind of over, but I'm not real sure it's over 100% yet. But
I got you it's back here.
But
yeah, just flip it off. The air conditioner, I forgot to turn it off before I started the show, and I turned that one off, but then I can hear it blowing in the microphones. Oh, that's how good my ears are. I still got my ears. Even at my old age, I got my ears. I can still hear. So
yeah.
Anyway.
We had another one from Susan Gagner. I hope I'm saying that name right. That's the thing about me reading the comments is I always feel like I'm completely butchering these people's names, so please forgive me.
Yeah,
but it says, have you ever raced against Kirsten Helling? She drove Nitro Harleys a few years back, and she is a friend of mine.
So your friend is actually still racing Nitro Harleys. She just doesn't do it as often. Kirsten is a dear friend of mine. She's labeled in my phone as my Nitro sister, because there's very few of us women that have raced. I don't know. I don't think we ever lined up together.
We have at Rockingham once or twice for qualifying, I think, or maybe first round or something. But it was like the last time she was down there.
Yeah, it's kind of hit and miss. She's she's a wonderful lady. She's up in Wisconsin. helping her dad, her husband and her dad run a Harley shop up there in Shawano. If anybody's out there near Shawano, Wisconsin, never been to Doc's Harley Davidson, you've got to go. He has alligators. He has,
he's got a zoo.
He's got a zoo. He's definitely, I mean, and that's,
does.
I mean, he really does have a zoo. But he's, they're a great family, very passionate about racing. But you know, now she's raising a family and running a dealership. So she gets out every now and then. But yeah, great person.
All right.
I should have hit her up to see if she could have called in, but she's raising 3 boys.
Oh.
So she pretty much has her hands full.
I'd say so. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And for commenting.
Yeah.
That was good. That was like a call, but we had Bryson reading it.
Yeah.
I saw someone on there called you Patrick Swayze.
Oh, that was Philip Riot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does look a little bit like Patrick Swayze.
That's right, yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'll take the compliment. That's cool.
Yes. And I saw David Marshall, that we say hey to him. Saw he was tuned in. So he's up somewhat near Martinsville area. So if any of my friends out there are going to Bristol, I'm gonna say, like as they say nowadays, hit me up. That means give me a call or send me a text.
Hamm with the slang terms now.
I know, right? I'm learning a little bit because my nephew's up there, and I wish that I was up there with him and helping him out because I feel like he needs some help. You know, he's got a lot of invested in this car and not a lot of help. So, yeah, and he's going to get up there and race. And speaking of racing, our friend Chris Ferguson won. Fergie, he won Bristol 2 years in a row in the super late models. He runs up there. Known him forever, and went to school with his mother, and he's doing so good. Went and watched him many times when I was building engines and stuff out dirt tracks. You ever been out to Cherokee, buddy, or to Carolina Speedway?
I've been to Carolina, never been to Cherokee.
Okay, yeah, they're kind of about the same. Well, as far as in the general area of where those are the two that I went to. And I never raced there, but I would, tuned and done all that kind of stuff. It was a good time, dirt track racing. But you said dirt is for what?
Dirt's for growing potatoes.
Yes.
Asphalt's for racing.
Yeah. That brings up a good point. You're either a dirt racer or you're asphalt. It's kind of hard to be both.
I don't like to get dirty.
Yeah, and even sitting in the stands, you're going to get covered with, red dirt.
Yeah, I was going to say, you go to a dirt race, you got to stand back,
Yeah.
Gotta sit in the car.
Yeah, there you go.
Sit in the car.
You can do that at Friendship Motor Speedway. I got a buddy that races up there, and they've got trackside parking, they call it, up at the top of turns 1 and 2. And at the end of the night, those cars, don't matter what color they were before, they're red at the end of the night. So.
Make sure your windshield washer fluid is full before you go.
Yeah. Taking home a free souvenir there, a piece of the track, I guess.
That's right. Now, do you get, all right, Bryson, this question's for you.
Okay.
Do you get blasted by the gravel or the sand or asphalt? Oh, tires?
Yeah, so I learned that first night because usually you go to watch a race. I mean, I'm not, it's cool to like walk down to the fence, and like get the rush of the cars going behind you. That's always cool.
Yeah.
But I never, I want to see the whole race typically. So I would, I like to sit a little bit higher, and you got a good view of the whole track. So where I'm at, I'm like right at the flag stand. So I learned not one, like you need something covering up your eyes or on your face or something because there's going to be all kinds of stuff. And it really does. And it depends what's running because, like the legend cars go out there and they're not throwing a lot of stuff up. But the super late models get out there and they're throwing rubber in your face. And
sure.
Yeah. So, so it's cool.
What is your job out there now?
So I'm technically I'm checking wristbands, on the crossover gate. So I'm, running the crossover gate, checking wristbands, and
you have a badge.
And just no, I get a wristband. So yeah,
gotta have a wristband. There's another song, and Tim reminded me that song earlier was a song. It was the where was it? Do you see it on there? The song I was saying, that sounds like a song. It should be a song. It was a song. The Birds. The Birds. You remember the Birds?
Yeah.
You were around back then, right? I mean, I was too, but anyway.
I was young, but I was around.
I got you. Me too. Yes.
Yeah. Turn by the Birds.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Anyway, that's enough. That's pretty good, though, wasn't it? It sounds better when I get closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, if you're just tuning in, you got Janette Thornley in here, Racing Roots with Hamm. So my phone just went off, said new video. Oh, Chris Boucher. Okay. Yes. Chris Boucher, do you know him? He races in NASCAR. Yeah.
He's a cool dude. I know who he is.
He is. Yeah. He's been on the show. He called in a couple weeks ago. But he's doing very well over there at Roush Keselowski Racing. Roush Fenway Keselowski.
They just got a very big penalty.
Gosh,
I don't know if you read about
100
that.
100 points. And
it was Keselowski's team.
Yes.
But, yeah.
The 6 car there.
There's a lot of interesting stuff because, like, the next gen car coming out, it's almost takes you back to the earlier days of NASCAR when teams are like they're taking in this new thing and trying to find ways to modify it before NASCAR can stop that.
Yes.
So that's sort of where they get the thing with the wheels that Penske did. They didn't get fined for that. They were just smarter than everybody else, and they put the extra rods on the wheels. Or I can't even remember.
The extra
explained
holes
that. Yeah.
For the dowels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So but they altered a NASCAR part that is provided by NASCAR. Keselowski's team did. So that's a big no-no. So you can't do that.
That's a good question for Mr. Buddy here, Buddy Foss. So back when we were racing, back in the day, whenever you had, you get a part from the manufacturer, right? And you could always modify it pretty much. I mean, you get an intake, it's just a blank. Like you have to, all right, let's get away from engines, but pretty much anything.
Right.
You had to modify it to make it really to take out the way they manufactured it, to make it, take out stress risers, to make it so it wouldn't break.
Had to make it better.
Had to make it better. Yep. But you didn't go around telling everybody, because it's like if you told them, then they're going to go, the manufacturer's going to go and they're going to do them all like that. And then everybody else is going to have the same thing you got. So, each team had ways of making things better. But now they can't do that. And it's hard for us racers to just say, well, I'm just going to bolt it on. I can't do nothing with it.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fond of these new cars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
If you work harder, you go faster.
That's it.
I like that. That's the way it should be, really. That's the way it's always been up until the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You can put a plow on the front, though, and move them out of the way if you have to.
There you go. Whatever it takes to win the race.
Yep.
Get the big win. Okay, so Janette Thornley, if our friends want to, let's say, get in touch with you, or if they feel inspired by this conversation and they want to give you a compliment or whatever, how can they do that? For one, you can actually do it right here on the video, and you can go back and rewatch it, or go back and comment on YouTube, or you can actually send Janette a message. Where?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I'm kind of behind times with some of the apps, but like I said, I probably started my retirement a little bit sooner than I announced it, because I've just I'm just kind of tired, and so I took a little bit of a break, from staying on top of social media and everything. But I'm Janette Thornley. If you search for that and you see a picture of me in my race leathers, that's my official race page. I'm kind of incognito on Facebook under Nitro Granny as my personal page. You have to send a friend request there, but please hit me up. Feel free to, direct message me or PM me, however you call it in the world of media. Yeah. Some people call it one and some call it the other.
Well, y'all say, she said it too, didn't she? She said, hit me up. That's right. See, I don't know. Did you already know that, or did I teach you that? No, I'm just kidding. Hit you up.
Her word is ping. Just ping me.
Oh, ping me. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that.
Ping
Bing.
me. Yeah.
Sounds like Tommy's phone. Bing. Or sonar. But you also have a website.
I do. It's probably a little dated, because again, I've lost a little bit of energy around it, but it's JanetteThornley.com. And hopefully we'll get some more activity going here soon, and if I decide that I'm going to get ambitious again and pursue public speaking in a more structured manner, or take it in a loose manner. Again, I family, what I've discovered in the last couple of years is family is really important to me. It's something I missed out on a lot when I was, not only because of the death of my dad and my brother, but at 19, I jumped ship. I left Oregon. I moved to the East Coast and pretty much spend my entire adult life out here. Not necessarily in North Carolina, but, the last couple of years, I've really taken a different look at, having a wonderful husband, having a son, stepson, having a daughter-in-law that, they're all part of, a deep, piece of my heart that I want to be available and participate and not miss a lot that I missed out on in the prior, 40 years really, or I guess 35 years,
Yeah.
So all my priorities, I guess, around, chasing, a book and taking time away from, I just, right now, I just kind of want to level out and, be me and be a part of, other people's adventures and, possibly dreams and stuff. And we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I like that. And that's a great point that I've been thinking more along that lines too. You're chasing your dream chaser, like Buddy's shirt says there. and you're doing that so much. And it's like, you just hammer down and keep going and keep going and keep going. Then you I take a step back and reflect, like, okay, am I missing other things that I should be enjoying right now? Because I'm just chasing this, and because why am I doing it? Those types of things. In the end, you're going to look back. I don't want to be one of those that looks back and thinks, gosh, I missed out on this and that, because I just so busy, I guess you could say.
Yep.
So.
Yep. The kids is, Buddy missed the kids' birth, and I hate that because he was heading to an event, and, the couple years, their birthdays fall on Valdosta weekend, and it was always a thought, that how can we miss, this? And now that they're getting older, I guess when they were laying in their little things, they probably didn't know a whole lot, but now it's, grandma and mama is what I'm called, and grandpa, it tugs at your heart. So,
Trip and McKinley.
Trip and McKinley. Yep. Don't want to miss out on activities with them. So
they'll be racing soon.
There you go. That's it. And see, then you're spending family time together. You're at the track with Tommy and Laura and Trip and McKinley. And Tommy's like, I ain't going. So you can push that onto your dad because you have them every day of the week. And then you and Laura can go do something, right? So, no. He says he's going to sleep. So get caught up on sleep, right?
Tripp's already said he wants to go win trophies because Mama's not going to win anymore. So he wants to go win some.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Bryson, do we have anything on Facebook or YouTube?
Yes. Let's see. No, but on YouTube.
Okay.
Alicia Brown says, Janette, what is your best memory that will always remain with you from your racing? I'm sure there are many times. Which one stands out?
Oh. Hi, Alicia. Wow, there's so many. I mean, gosh. I from a racing standpoint, the one that stands out for me is it was Bowling Green 2017 when I think it was 17. We had Buddy had mentioned we were able to run and learn from Johnny Vickers, and we had oftentimes ran as a two-bike team, and we had decided that we were going to race on our own and fully step away from the coaching and mentoring. You still kind of throw a plug in, ask some questions, but that was really the turning point for us, and just I think it grew a deeper respect for he and I, and even just just a team. But that first event in Bowling Green, and we won the event, and it was probably the most memorable win for us. Above the NHRA trophies and championships. I mean, they were awesome. I'll never forget. But knowing that we achieved that win on our own was probably one of the biggest memories. But with the fans in that's what I'm gonna miss. I know the most. I've met so many folks across the country. The children, that come up, and the parents that may ping me later that my daughter still has your photo, and I hope you're doing well, and you really made an impact. Those are the moments that that I'm really gonna miss, and hope that I can reconnect and maybe somehow continue to influence folks. So
yeah, very good. Well, this hour and a half has flown by really quick. I actually spent an hour and almost 40 minutes. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it does go by so fast on it because you had so much fun, right? Right.
Oh, yeah.
I always have fun. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like he said, I can talk.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I got it out of her system for tonight. Give you a break.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I certainly appreciate you coming in, and it's always good to see you. Anything I can do to help in the future, whatever, I don't know what that may be, but I'm not going to go test a bike or anything like that. I mean,
how about the young guy down there?
Well, hey, do you need a ride? You like speed? You like going fast?
Yeah, I like going. I'm like Ricky Bobby. I like to go fast. So, there you go. So
shake and bake.
Shake and bake. There you go. Yeah. Shoot, I'd get on one, but you'd have to run that by my parents. Now that would be the job to do that there. But yeah, going fast. That's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I thought that was a siren going by. I thought I was hearing spirit noises or something. Okay.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. Yes, just do it. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. And y'all can go on to DHammiam on my YouTube channel, or just search Racing Roots, whatever. But hit that thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't like it, hit it twice. It still means a thumbs up. So anyway, but I'm sure there won't be anybody that doesn't like this, because it's been a great show with Janette Thornley. We so much appreciate it. And I'm sure there's probably a few final words on the YouTubes if you want to mention those.
Yeah. Jody Brown says, anything you do will be solid. Keep chasing your dreams. Aww. So that's cool. And Jim Dooley actually said, hey, Bryson, ask Janette if she will let you take a ride on her bike.
Yep.
So that's cool. So everybody's tuned in. It's been a good show. It's I've learned a lot about the drag racing and stuff. I'm not as familiar with all of that stuff. So it's been cool. It's been good to have you guys in here, and a lot of fun. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So next week we're going to have, I forgot his name now, Rob, and he's going to be talking about, he takes these older, like 70s, 80s NASCAR race cars, puts them out on the track and rides around. And so we're going to learn a little bit more about that. So we'll see how that goes next week on Racing Roots with Hamm at 7:00. That'll be next Monday. But also got coming up pretty soon, Jerry Cook. Do y'all know Jerry Cook? He's in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. But yeah, he raced.
He was a modified driver or something. Yeah. And then he was an official too, maybe?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little digging into that. I worked with his daughter there at Roush Yates. But that should be cool to have him come on. Actually, he's going to bring the whole family, kind of like we did tonight.
Cool.
But we didn't have Trevor McKinley and Laura with us.
But you couldn't have got anything done if they were here.
Yeah, so we'll see y'all next Monday. Have a great week, and see you next Monday on Racing Roots with Hamm.
Some would say freedom died in 2021. No, we say freedom is here and